Hello guys, welcome. Hi, my name is Max Manganello and welcome to the second episode of A Quick Chat With. Today we go an author, a very good friend of mine. His name, you can say him now, is Neal. Is Neal Hurd, author of few books, one on trainers, one of football t-shirts. If you're watching me on Facebook, thank you very much. Click like here, click like, and if you're watching me on YouTube, thank you again, and click the subscribe button here so you can receive some alerts for my next live events or videos uploaded on my channel. Okay, if you want also send us some messages or just say hi to my guest, just chat, just type your message on the chat button here on Facebook or here on the YouTube chat, and we can put them live and Neal can talk to us. Guys, let's grab my guest. Let's see if he's there. So I just put a microphone on and let's see if he's there. Hello, Neal. How are you?
Ciao, Maxi. I'm okay, mate. Nice to see you.
Okay?
Yeah, I've been doing DIY all day, so it's nice to have a break. I'm okay, mate. Yeah, I'm okay. There's a little bit of a delay on the thingy, okay? Voice. Okay.
There is probably a few seconds delay between me and you, but I can hear you very well. I can see you quite well actually, so it's not too bad. And I can see you behind you. You got so much stuff. You got t-shirts, football t-shirts behind you. We will go there very, very soon. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. So neat. Okay. So I don't know if you know the format about this show. Sorry, I just put my microphone a little bit closer. Probably you can hear me better now. Sorry, the microphone was miles away. I don't know if you know the format. So during the last few days, I went to your social media profiles and I took some photos, random photos on Facebook, Instagram. And now during our conversation, I will throw at you some photos. And let's see what's going on. Okay. So actually, I just threw at you straight away one. Usually we start from the beginning. Okay. We start from the beginning and I found some photos quite at the beginning. Looks quite familiar, this one, because I think I can recognize the setting.
Yeah.
Where are you here?
You know the stadium?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think it's Genova. I think
that's right. Stadio Luigi Ferrari, isn't it?
Exactly. So what was that? 1990?
Yeah, that's the World Cup 1990. A lot of memories from that photograph.
You do. How old you were? You were a boy. You were a kid. You were so young.
I think I was 20. I think. 1990. Yeah, 20. Yeah.
I've got another one which is more familiar. I think. Let me see. Found another one. I removed this one first, and then you will see.
Yeah.
So even my computer is playing up a little bit. This one is Turin.
Yeah, your home city. That's the old crappy Stadio degli Alpi, which was out on the edge of town, isn't it? But I think the thing is, to give you the story, we were sort of like football mad youngsters, and as you know now from living in Wales so long, we were always rubbish, and so we never qualified for anything until 2016. So even though we were kind of like starved and Wales didn't qualify for the World Cup, we just wanted to go and be a part of the World Cup, you know. And we were both postmen at the time. That guy's called Matthew Griffiths, my old best friend, who I miss actually. But anyway, me and him were postmen at the time, and we just sort of said, let's go and do it. And we didn't have hardly any money to take with us. We didn't have much money to do anything with, so we just tried our luck and just turned up for Italian night, and it was one of the probably the most memorable times of my life.
I can imagine. Honestly, they played in Turin, as you show me. They play everywhere in Italy. I didn't go. I didn't see a game.
Really?
No, I didn't go at all. So I'm so jealous because it was that was one England played quite well Actually, was semi-final? Went in the semi-final?
Yeah, that was the big one for England. I mean, as you know, I'm Welsh. I'm not anti-English at all, and I didn't wish them. Well, maybe at the time I was maybe a little bit more, but we ended up following Scotland around. That's why we were at the Genoa game. So we went to Turin and we fell in with some Scots boys. I think I've told you before, who'd literally taken over a hotel. So when we went in there was nobody at the desk. There was no sort of concierge or whatever, and they'd literally taken over it. So we stayed with them a couple of days in Turin, and it was raided by the Polizzi, and we all had to get out of there. But whilst we were in Turin, we went to that game. That was Sweden-Brazil. I think it was Ronaldo's debut, the real Ronaldo, the Brazilian Ronaldo. And then from there, because we were with the Scots, we just said, where are you going next? And then they were playing Costa Rica in Genoa. And that's how we ended up in Genoa, because we went with the Scots boys and watched. Scotland actually lost to Costa Rica that day. But anyway, it was all just part of the journey, It was just brilliant to be there.
What a great experience. Fantastic experience. You will share for the rest of your life. Brilliant. And then, so the passion was always there. So football for you was your oxygen in those days. It still is, actually. I know you are very passionate. And then later I show you a little bit more, more photos with your biggest passion. But football was passion. But also, passion was also this. Always been part of your thing. So explain, because there are some viewers saying trainers. So why this passion, first of all, Neal?
Well, I think if you kind of know at the time then, so in the 80s and leading up to that World Cup, that everybody who was into football in the 80s, and football in the 80s was not as popular as it is now. Everybody likes to say they like football now, don't they? Everybody thinks they know about football. Whereas at the time, it was less trendy, should we say, for want of a better word. In the 80s, British attendances were the lowest they have ever been. Grounds were like decrepit. The football, quite frankly, wasn't very good. So basically, if you were into football back then, you were kind of just into it because you were into it properly, not one of these newcomers, but, without sounding old fashioned. But anyway, part of that, being in football in the 80s at the time, was a sort of tribe of dressers, shall we call it, for want of a better way, of a, fashion movement called the casuals, which I kind of dabbled with and was part of. And a massive part of that was trainers, and if you go sort of back in history at that time, everybody again thinks sort of trainers are sort of obvious now, it's so obvious that trainers are so cool and everything like that, and you wear them as a leisure item and a fashion item. But at the time that wasn't the case until the casuals started to do it, you know what I mean? So they kind of invented trainers as a fashion item. Across the Atlantic, on the other side of the Atlantic, the Americans were doing the same with hip hop, strangely enough. And so those two sort of tribes invented footwear, trainers or sneakers, if you're from America or whatever, as a fashion item, So they also invented a lot of other things. So Burberry, Aquascutum, Fila, you all know all about Ticini, LS. The list goes on, sort of Stone Island in the end, that Armani, blah, 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 blah. That sort of that group of people appropriated and started to wear, and trainers was a massive part of that.
It was something I didn't know. And you, in 2003, when did you do this?
Yeah,
you wrote a book about it?
Yeah. So basically, come the middle of the beginning of the 90s. The fashion in trainers sort of went a bit space agey, and everybody who'd liked them in the 80s couldn't stand them anymore. And we started looking around the old shops, which still sold the old trainers. Do you know what I mean? So Nike, for instance, had released the Air Max 90, if you know what I'm on about, which has a big bubble in its sole. They were kind of like technical looking. And we who'd sort of liked all the trainers in the 80s couldn't stand this new movement of trainers. So we went looking for old trainers, vintage trainers, because the brands weren't selling them anymore. It sounds crazy now because the brands sell everything from their back catalogue, but at the time they weren't. So we went around looking for them. A good friend of mine called Fraser, I think you've met, Danny's brother, Idris. Idris was somebody who dragged me and got me into it. And those two, Idris and Fraser, were going around getting trainers from old sports shops and selling them to Japan on a professional level. And they knew that I was into my trainers. So when they came back to Wales, they said to me, "Oh, come in with us. We're getting all the trainers." So I ended up getting all the trainers with them and ended up kind of making a living out of it. And then come 2003, I was selling vintage trainers at an event. And this lady came up to me and we ended up getting chatting. She was about 60. You would never have thought she cared about her trainers type thing. I'm not far off that now, so I shouldn't be so rude. But she got chatting and she said she was a commissioning editor for a publishing house, which was Carlton Books. And I said, well, I've always wanted to do a book on trainers because I consider myself a historian, always have done. So it was a lucky point in time, where I was in the right place at the right time and met this woman and said, I'll do it. And then ended up writing the book.
It went mental. It went crazy.
Yeah, the book's been
people
a huge
bought it.
seller.
It was one of the most sold books on Amazon as well. Something like that. It was crazy. And even that kicked you. So you were the expert in trainers, and you toured as well. So I got photos here. You went touring around the country and had exhibitions and signing books.
I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't make so much of the trainers book. Even though it was really, really popular, this book sold really, really well. I kind of literally disappeared from the scene because I just couldn't stand it.
No, I understand.
So it was funny. I'm very proud of that book, but I didn't make the most of it economically, for want of a better term.
No. But then you had, but that anyway is a great thing for you anyway. So the book is out. Neal Heard now. The name is coming out. I remember now. There was a story you told me a long time ago. Now I think no trainers, but probably was more fashion style, because even you and fashion are together. You like fashion. You always follow the fashion, and now we're going into another sector now of football t-shirts. About talking about t-shirts, I remember you were creating some t-shirts in the past, something like that. There was also Robbie Williams asked you to have a t-shirt, wear a t-shirt, and you said no because you didn't like it. Is it true? I don't remember. Is it true that he asked?
Oh yeah, that's very true. Yeah, I mean, at the time, it was a passion, and so we weren't thinking about money. Money was an irrelevance, as you know. That's why I was poor so long, and so I had principles, and we just thought Robbie Williams was a bit of a joke, and so when he wanted to wear our t-shirt, it was the last thing that we wanted. And he wasn't alone. There was quite a few people at the time. Who's the naked chef guy, the little young guy?
Jamie Oliver.
Jamie Oliver. We said no to Jamie Oliver as well. So
yeah, okay.
You have that. So yeah,
you deserve that.
I still goes on, Max. I have to sort of slap myself even now to sort of think, no, you've got to play the game. But yeah, whatever, it's fashion's fashion.
Exactly. And now we are going through this world, the football bits, the thingy, because even there, Neal, you found another reason to write another book, which I've got to hear. It's coming now. Here we go. Maybe. I don't know if you got it already. My computer
I can see it.
I don't know if you got
it.
Here we go. The Football Shirt book.
Yeah.
Connoisseur Guide. So tell me why you had this idea.
Again, it was just something I loved.
I lost you.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Sorry. Okay. So yeah, I mean,
I can hear you.
It was just something that I loved. Again, like trainers, it was just a passion. And I think I just basically had a bit of time on my hands. Sounds funny. And you know what? The world had changed. That's what had happened. I didn't want to go and work with a publisher again because publishers are shite, basically. And no offense, the one I've got now is really good. But no, that's wrong. Because what I'm saying is they will try and sort of do it their way rather than listening to you. And I didn't want anybody to ruin this book. I just wanted it to be exactly as I wanted it to be. So I decided that I'd self-publish it. And then because now social media, printing's cheaper, all that kind of stuff. I thought, well, I don't need a publisher. I'll just actually do it myself. And that was an epiphany, you know, a moment where I thought, well, I can do it. And then time was on my hands. I had lots of jerseys anyway, and it just flooded out. That book just was literally waiting in my mind to be written. So as soon as I sat down, it just went right. You know, it was easy. So,
Exactly.
and then luckily it sold so well. That's how it came out first. That was how it first came out, The Lover's Guide to Football Shirt. That's when I self-published it. And then luckily, because it sold so well, I ended up speaking to a publisher who were called Ebury, part of the Penguin Group. And that guy called Andy was really into his football. So I knew he really liked football. And I said, look, I'll do it, but I don't want anybody changing it. And he said the only thing they'd change was the cover and the name. So if you notice, the name changed from that one to the other one.
Yeah.
But otherwise, the book's the same. So anyway, yeah. So that's how that other book became that book. So like I said, that was fine because he got it. You know, he loved football and he knew not to change it. And so that's how it came up and out in the other version. And that's selling really well as well.
Exactly. And that is when even this book went quite crazy because you've been a guest for different TV shows, radio shows. I've got some photos here. Radio shows, you've been to the BBC Six with Catatonia, which I don't know now the Welsh name, but as an Italian, I know her as a Catatonia.
Yeah.
Good. I never even listened to that show. That was very, very good. Yeah, that was nice. Also, you've been quite a few times to Sky, I guess, Sky Sports. Because I remember your book was on the table all the time during the show.
Yeah.
You can see that your book still there during the live show in Soccer AM.
Yeah. That was a guy called Fenners. So he's he's into his fashion and his football and his trainers as well and loved the book type of thing. So we ended up getting in contact and he said, well, let's try and make a few shows for the episodes for the show, you know, which I did, which was brilliant, which was real nice of him. And then I was on Radio 2 and Radio 4.
You've been we'll see if I got more photos about you and thinking about you've been everywhere, Neal. So that's very good. And also I found this one very good, Neal. It's Kerrigan. So let me see if it's coming now. Show.
Oh yeah,
there you go.
Jamie Carragher. Jamie, a friend of mine up in Liverpool, who, you know, good pals of mine who love their trainers, and they're mates with Jamie Carragher, so they gave him a copy, and he was really into it, which was good. But a lot of good people have had it.
No, absolutely. But no, that is fantastic. Also, walking in a bookshop and seeing your book in there, like this photo, gee, that is is goosebumps, Neal, to see your book on Bookshelves.
Yeah, that's actually in Japan. That bookshop is in Japan, I think. So that was even better when I saw it over there, things like that. But yeah, it is nice. It's a very nice thing to have done. You know, something I'm really proud of, but also really enjoyed, you know. And it's nice to just do it yourself, that, you know, to get it off the ground and do it yourself and follow things you like.
Exactly. And this, tell me, were you were here? Because I recognize a few faces in these photos.
Yeah, so that was the launch of the book, The Lover's Guide to Football Shirts, and that was in Fraser's shop. So Fraser, as I was mentioning earlier, Fraser Moss, who I know you've met, who's there in the yellow next to Alison. We
Alison
had a launch
on the left. Okay, if nobody knows, Alison is his wife on the left.
Yeah, that's my wife. And then all those were good pals of mine who sort of came to the launch party in Fraser's shop. So yeah, that was a great day. Really, really enjoyed that.
That's very good. And then you tour a lot. So at the moment at the moment not, because of course coronavirus, you don't. But you were touring Europe at the moment. I remember you were telling me you were going Barcelona or Moscow, I don't know, Russia or something like that.
Yeah.
Tell me more about it, because honestly, are you when it finishes, are you starting again or?
No, we're going to do it again in the new year, the next year, and it was kind of like a trip to celebrate the European Championship. So it was to do with my book, really, and everything about me. A company called Scott's Menswear, and they sponsored it, and we were touring all the host cities for the Euros and visiting people who were relevant to what I'm on about. So trainer collectors or football shirt collectors or fashionable people. Excuse me. And we were visiting them and looking at their collection and talking to them and visiting the city and visiting the ground. And so, yeah, we're going to do another few of those next year as well before the Euros, which is good.
No. And also you tour, I said that you were touring the UK as well. I can see some posters here. So I know this is not an exhibition. What was that? It's a book, but you were the curator of this book, something like that?
No, that's an exhibition. So what I did from when the book had come out, I thought, we should do exhibitions around this. No one had ever done this. There hadn't been an exhibition on football shirts. Well, certainly not like that. They're normally in museums and they're kind of stuffy and a bit boring. And I did an exhibition, the first exhibition on football shirts, which was that one you just saw in London, in Brick Lane. And 5,000 people came in one weekend. So it was massive. And there's been lots of exhibitions since, but they've all basically just copied mine. And then I ended up working with Selfridges. So they did the same. We had an exhibition at Selfridges, and then I did a kind of collaboration jerseys with them, and we sold them, and they sold out. So yeah, it's all gone. One thing led to another,
Yeah. No, absolutely. And then Italy's involved in here.
Yeah.
I love this guy comes to Italy.
Yeah, I was, you know what? Because as you know, I mean, the one thing the books really taught me was, for me, that the two nations who are most mad on football, without a doubt, and then onto football shirts is the UK and Italy. And I can tell you that for a fact, because when I was selling the book, I knew where it was most being sent to, and the Italians were crazy on the book. And to be honest with you, I've been really surprised, because I thought if we could get an exhibition in Italy, that it'd be massive, it'd be really, really maybe match the London one, and we'd have so many people there. But to do it, I need a sponsor, and I've never really found a sponsor. But that one was my mates, who are called Weekend Defenders, a fashion firm, and they're from Wales. And they've got a branch in Milan. And they kindly put up the exhibition, so a mini one in their shop. And that was that event you just posted. So it went really well, but it could be even bigger. I'd like to see it in a really big place. And I'd love to do that for the Euros with someone in Italy, any brands, anybody knows. That's what I want to do.
Exactly. No, that's absolutely brilliant. Now, going back to your book a little bit, I found this photo about some Russian fans. Look at this. So look at this. It's from your social. Look at that. Like you never saw it. These are Russian guys who bought your book and they posted. They put minus 15 degrees.
Yeah, I know. You know what? It was a really good thing, because at the time, I think that's what I was trying to say, really, and I didn't say it properly, is that book kind of tapped into a love, same thing as the trainer's book did. It was an area of life that I knew people loved. I loved it. Other people loved it, but nobody had ever given it any attention. And so when I finally did the book on the football jerseys, all these people who really loved it and kind of sort of said to me, look, we love it. We're really pleased you did it, type thing, which is the loveliest part about doing this book, to be honest with you, is that it's connecting with these people who love it like you do, and who are really grateful that you did it. And there's nothing nicer than that, quite frankly, in work, I don't think. And so they all started to put posters of themselves holding it outside various places. So that I've got some from Gibraltar, I've got some from Brazil, fans outside the ground in Brazil, those boys in Russia. It just went on and on and on, and that was a nice thing. It kind of grew on its own. It's lovely.
It is. Now, behind you, Nee, you got quite a few. How many t-shirts, how many football t-shirts you got? Because now I put you on full screen. Behind, how many you got? Look at this.
I put give a little tour of the. There we are. Goes up. And then all down. And down there. So. And there's more.
There is one in particular you are proud of?
Oh, you mean the Newport one? The Newport County one?
I've got these things for you ready.
Yeah, I'm proud of that, mate. I'm proud of that. I am proud of that, actually. Especially that latest one, that latest jersey. Yeah, so I ended up, from being known, the word kind of got around even to Newport that I was kind of like doing well in this field. And I ended up speaking to the chairman, a guy called Gavin Foxall, who's a really good guy, who's also into his trainers, actually, strangely enough, and who's a chairman of a football club. And I said, look, I can help you. I do this for a living type thing. And they were just really receptive to it and said, look, would you actually design the shirt for us type thing? So, yeah, again, not right place, right time, but just lovely that what I was into led me to that, which, as you know, they're my fan, they're my club. For my sins, I've dragged you along enough times. So, yeah, it was really nice to do that and see the club, the team come out onto the pitch wearing the jersey was great. It's nice.
Exactly. With jersey, they went quite far on FA Cup. That is the another thing.
Yeah, I mean, it was a shame. We were only a game away from being promoted on it. We got to the playoff finals and then lost in the playoff finals. And I was, obviously I was disappointed, but it was just a shame. It would have been nice for them to have been promoted in it as well. But yeah, we did great in the FA Cup. We had a great season. So it was a nice time to be involved with them as well.
And everybody knows Newport for you is Newport football, Newport County, and Newport City as well is in your blood. Probably not a lot of people know about it, that you have a tattoo. Okay, can we tell? Can we tell this thing? Can we say these things?
Yeah, you can say it.
Tattoo on his back, on the bottom back, is Newport. You got Newport and Newport County Football Club and something like that.
Yeah,
big one on the back. So respect. So soon I will put Turin here for me.
You should do, mate. We'll have one each. I'll have Torino as well, and you can have County.
To be honest, I prepare a photo for you just to sneak this one in for you. Oh, I was thinking, I'll put this one for you. Look at that, the biggest team in Italy.
I recognize the one. Who's the guy right on the end? He was the one with the long hair on the end. He was your best player, wasn't he?
Lentini.
Lentini, yeah. That's right. Did he die in a car crash?
Lentini.
Yeah, Lentini.
Exactly. Now I tell you something. There is a curse, the Turin curse.
Yeah.
If you leave Turin for a team, for money, for something like that, because you are the best player, we love you, and you leave us to go to play with Milan, which was the best team in Italy. But you leave us, we need you. So there is a curse, and he crashed his car and he almost died. Honestly,
that's right.
I remember, and stuff like that. So we don't like that. Of course, we don't. Poor thing. But his career went. he lost everything. His career gone. So you see, living Turin and stuff.
Don't leave Turin.
Don't leave Turin, mate. Another thing. Tomorrow is the anniversary of the plane crash.
Oh no!
Tomorrow,
Super
4th of May is the anniversary. 4th of May, 1949.
Oh shit!
Il Grande Torino, the big Turin, because Turin was the biggest team on the planet in the 1940s, like that. Yeah. And crash was coming back from Lisbon during the Champions League, was called Coppa dei Campioni, and was landing in Turin. Was very foggy and crashed on the church just before Turin. So just all died. So it was like Manchester United. So same story. Manchester United, some survived by Turin.
Why is it called the Superga crash?
Superga, because the basilica, the church where they crashed, is called Superga. That is the location.
I see. Oh, was it? Okay.
The location where the plane crashed. So tomorrow is and for the first time, they don't go up. Maybe tomorrow in Italy, they can walk. They can go out the houses. Tomorrow, the quarantine mellows a little bit. So maybe they can go up to the cathedral and they have to shout the names in front of the cathedral. That's our ritual.
Wow.
So every year, usually the captain, Turin captain, will shout the names. The actual captain of Turin now shout the names for the it's a nice thing. It's a very nice thing.
Yeah, it's good.
Very sad thing. But talking about Superga and Superga is another shoes make.
Yeah.
Now I've got this nice link What's
Yeah.
this? That's
Nicely.
a nice one.
Yeah, so that was the next thing. I kind of thought, well, let's try and make a trainer's brand, which sounds like a big thing to say, doesn't it? But my friend, who's the other end, there's another Neal called Neal Morris, another Welsh boy I've known for a long time, good friend of mine. He's been in fashion as long as I have, and he makes shoes anyway. He makes them in Spain with his brand called Viras, which they sell around the world type thing. And we've just been toying with it, chatting about it for ages over pints, saying we should do a trainer's brand. We should do a trainer's brand. And so we finally got around to doing it. We called it Double N because we're both Neal. Made the logo and then went for it. But unfortunately, obviously, we just launched it with it when the whole virus thing kicked off. Yeah. So it's slowed down. But we had a good reaction. We've got to see 2 big, massive shops when everything gets back to semi-normal. We've got appointments to see these 2 shops. So fingers crossed that, we'll get some orders and it'll start. But it's good. We're pleased with them.
I don't know. Brilliant. They look good. Let's see them again. So that is a good pair of. They are trainers anyway, or they are also different kind of shoes, or just kind of trainers, or
they're trainers.
Kind of
they're kind of like, they're not so sporty looking. They're more, adult looking, I suppose. More like the shape of a Vans or a tennis shoe, Stan Smith or whatever. Yeah. And they're made of suede and made of leather, really, really well made, because the Spanish are the best with their leather. Maybe an Italian and argue with that, but they're really good at. So
they look very, very good. They look
the production brilliant, and I think it may help now with all this stuff. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'll put you up here aside when they start next.
Oh, sweetie, with the little thing. Yeah. Before I let you go, I found this one. I was thinking, why this one? If there is a story behind this T-shirt, the Libertines.
Yeah,
which is a group.
Yeah, so
I don't like this.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Again, I think because I became well known, because my book is all about kind of like how football shirts link to popular culture, so music, brands, kind of like politics. I looked at football shirts in a sort of new way, fashion. I became known for it, and Margate, a little small team, even smaller than Newport County, like 3 divisions below us. The Libertines went back to Margate and they started a recording studio there. And the local team went to them because they knew they were into their football, and then ended up getting together to help them. And I think, what was it now? Yeah, so I suggested to a mate of mine who was involved with it. And I said, well, why didn't you get the Libertines to actually sponsor it, become sponsors for the club? So he approached the Libertines, and that's what happened. And then I helped with the design a bit and been in touch with them ever since, actually. So yeah, that's how that came about. But I want to do more of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I was thinking, why you got that? So I'm sure there was something behind it. That's why I met you.
I think the thing is, what you do then is that small clubs, or any club really, can then sell way more jerseys than they ever sold. So Margate, for instance, normally sold something like, I don't even think they sold 100 jerseys a year. But as soon as they did that jersey and I helped spread the word on it, I think they ended up selling 3,000 of them or something. So it brings a lot of revenue into the club, because it's not just Margate fans, who are not very many of them, no offense. It's, everybody likes the Libertines worldwide then ended up buying it as well, So it's something I think could get bigger and bigger.
Clever idea, Neal. Very good. So we need probably something for Newport. We need to, I don't know, Stereophonics, or I don't know which bands we go. I don't know.
Well, they have done it. A club have done it for Newport before in the past. They've got the jersey there. Yeah. Let me show you quickly.
Fine. Yeah. I just put you on full screen. Let's see.
You see that?
A
bit of a comedy one.
Yeah.
So that's Newport, and the brand are called Goldie Lookin chain. Yeah. So they sponsored Newport.
That's true.
Yeah. That's quite a collectible jersey. It's worth a couple of £100, that jersey.
It is.
Yeah, so if you Google afterwards, there's a band called Goldie, Lookin Chain who got really big for a while. You may have heard of them, but if you Google them, you'll find them. They got
Rings
really
a
big.
bell. Rings a
Yeah,
bell.
so they did it. So
Yeah,
there are
yeah.
examples of it. There'll be more of it, you know.
Fantastic. Brittany. Oh, okay. I mean, 30 minutes chat, friendly chat. So now they know you as a person as well. So that was the reason to do this little chat. So not just as an author and writer and lots of other things. Do you have anything else in the pipeline apart from going around Europe when everything finishes? Do you have anything else you can tell us, or secret?
Well, I'm just been made a creative director of a football brand, you know, football shirts brand, sportswear brand. But I can't say who it is. So I've actually finally kind of got my dream job, putting all these things into action there, working with proper clubs, working with the design of the shirts and fashion ranges and everything. So I haven't announced it to anybody yet, so I can't say, but that's what I've got, which is brilliant.
Brilliant. No, absolutely. Me, thank you very much for your time. Honestly, 30 minutes, 36 minutes actually, chat, and it's been great. Good luck with the rest of the quarantine. Hopefully, I see you soon. We are quite close, but we can see each other.
We spoke do this all the time, Max.
Yeah, exactly. We should. Give a big hug and kiss to your lovely wife and kids.
Yeah, thank you, mate. Love to my sister.
And I say hello to your sister. Not the guest. There is a link here. There is a link. The other day. Nate, hopefully see you soon. Have a lovely, lovely day, matey. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, Max.
Ciao, ciao.
Nice to speak to you, lovely.
Ciao,
ciao mate.
Ciao, ciao. Neal Hurd, authors of a few books, trainers, and the t-shirt books. Guys, go on Amazon, buy it, because what is a nice present as well. Guys, thank you for watching. So if you're watching on YouTube, please click the subscribe button so you will receive some alerts regarding new live shows. We do also the Italian version. Oh, surprise, surprise. Like this, it's called Quattro Chiacchiere con Max, and I have some Italian personalities chatting with me. And the next actually guest for the English version is this one. Ta-da! Do you remember her? Was Vogue from Gladiators. Suzanne Cox will be with us next Sunday at the same time, 5 o'clock UK time. And Suzanne will tell us more about her new projects, podcast, and stuff like that. So, guys, thank you for watching again. And I see you or Wednesday with the Italian version or next Sunday with the English version. Let me remove the banner and see you Wednesday or Sunday. Ciao, ciao.